Driving drunk can be deadly, and it can cause so much heartache. That's why DWI enforcement is so important. It's a serious offense, and if you get arrested for a DWI, it's an experience that could turn your life upside down.
Craig Barnes, Sergeant Kevin Nelson, and Scott County jail staff are helping demonstrate what it's like to be arrested and get booked into the jail for DWI. Craig was a DWI offender in a fatal crash in 2002. He's been sober now for years, and together we're asking you to please plan for a sober ride. Car 24 Metro?
Car 24.
I'll be en route to Scott County Jail with a DWI driver. Can you let them know I'm en route?
10-4, 1410.
DWI offenders often have questions, and the biggest question is what's going to happen to me? What's going to happen next? What should I expect? Car 24 Metro will be 10-6 at the jail. There's a lot of humiliation with the DWI arrest also, so all these thoughts are running through the offender's head as they're seated handcuffed in the back seat.
I thought that I was very good at drinking and driving. Always thought I was in control.
Okay, Mr. Brown, step out.
And I just thought that I knew what to do not to get caught at it.
The suspect is going to be taken to the wall where he'll have a cursory search, and they'll make sure that he doesn't have anything on him, weapons or drugs. That is just the first of many searches that are going to happen when he's in custody. The officer is going to be touching him in a way that he's not used to, and it's going to be uncomfortable for him. But the officer has to make sure we're not missing anything.
I'm going to take these off you, okay? I want you to put your left hand on the wall.
Oftentimes when people come in here, they're indignant and they say, don't treat me like that. You're treating me like a common criminal. Why aren't you out on the street getting real criminals? And literally, I will say to them, you are as common a criminal as we get. We're going to do DWIs. Tonight, we'll do DWIs. Tomorrow, we're going to do DWIs. Who knows when we'll get our next murder, for you are a common criminal.
We're going to go to the right here.
At this step of the process, the officer is going to go through an implied consent with the individual.
I believe you've been driving, operating, or controlling a motor vehicle,
which requires him to take a test if the officer believes that the individual has been using alcohol or drugs and been operating a motor vehicle. At this point, he'll also be given an opportunity to call his attorney.
Right now, we're going to step over into the breath testing room, which is across the hall.
In the next step of the process, the individual is going to submit a breath analysis to the officer.
You're on steady breath. Seal your lips around the tube below like you're blowing a balloon. Ready? Blow. Blow, blow, blow.
She just made a horrible decision in the choices he made, especially what I made. I mean, the law caught up to me. It was very humiliating.
Now explain your test results here, and we'll go over some paperwork for what's going to happen next.
They say in general, a misdemeanor DWI costs an individual between $15,000 and $20,000 for your first DWI, depending on how vigorously you fight it and how much it takes to get all of your stuff back. That's insurance costs over that 5-year period also.
Okay, he's clear and ready to be booked.
If this was his second DWI in our county, he's going to wait till he can see a judge so the judge can decide what it's going to take for him to get out of here. At this point in the process, the DWI suspect will be placed in a holding cell. A lot of times, the individuals are too intoxicated to start the booking process. If they have been using a lot of alcohol, a lot of drugs, they could be sitting in this holding cell for up to 14 hours just to sober up. And then when the time comes, we'll pull him out and get him processed for intake.
Well, when I was sitting there, it just gives a guy a lot of time to think, and who do I call and what's my explanation going to be?
In this part of the process, the DWI suspect will actually have a picture taken of him.
It's going to have to face the camera here, try not to blink.
That photograph now will be sent to our computerized roster. His picture now will be on the internet, and that is available to the public. The next step, we're going to go over and take prints.
So we're going to get your whole palm here.
Even the DWI offense, original offense, is getting a fingerprint record put into the FBI database system. In this part of the process, the officer is going to be taking the individual back to the change-out area.
And we're going to step right in here, okay?
Individuals who have to remain here to be seen in court in order to get bail conditions will be changed out, and they will go into our general housing area.
All right. Go ahead and step out if you're ready, whenever you're
Following
ready.
the change out, the officer is going to put together an initial issue. The initial issue consists of a blanket, a pillowcase, a pillow, a minimal amount of hygiene products.
On upstairs, why don't you come this way?
The contained area of a housing unit is like a world amongst itself. It's a society inside society.
Again, right up here.
Generally, this area is going to be, there's going to be a lot of bustling going on with other offenders. For a new individual walking in here for their first experience, this place may seem extremely overwhelming. For those individuals who are coming here during a lockdown period like this situation simulates, right now they'd all be at their windows looking to see who's coming in. They're trying to size him up and trying to figure out whether or not they can get some of his phone time. If he looks around at what's happening in the windows, he's going to know that, he's going to feel that.
This is your cell.
Oh, this is scary. I don't know what kind of
And
company I'm going to be keeping here in the next few days. I feel that, might have to watch my back a little bit.
you can pick the top or the bottom.
For some people who have never experienced literally being in a human kennel, that is going to be some kind of shock to their system. It is the absolute loss of control in your life. When somebody shuts that door behind you and suddenly you don't get to make a decision about when you come out.
My self-esteem was really low. I carried a lot of just guilt and shame. It's a very shameful experience. You got to know that you're risking everything. Your reputation, your integrity, your bank account, your vehicles, your driver's license, your life, and maybe somebody else's life. It's a good reminder for me that if I ever do drink and drive again, that this is where I'll come back to, and I don't ever want to do that.